Hi Gemini, welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your October 2023 tarot reading. Thank you to those of you who like, viewed, shared, and subscribed to the channel. I appreciate all of that. For those of you new to the channel, as far as what we have in front of us, it's a Celtic cross spread as always, and also pulled the 4 agreement, wisdom, the oracle, and Mudra card for you guys. We're actually going to start the reading off by rolling those astrology dice we have in front of us to get an idea of where your focus should be as far as that goes. All right. So we have Sagittarius, and for you guys, that's your opposite sign of partnerships, contracts, or relationships. Astrologically speaking, it's a little quiet there, but could still have a focus on area of life. All right, we have Uranus, and Uranus has actually been in Taurus for a pretty long time and will still be for a few more years, but that's your 12th house of spirituality, blind spots, and mental health. And we have 2. So second house energy for you guys is Cancer. Astrologically speaking, that's going to be a little quiet as well, but generally speaking, second house can point to possessions, self-worth, finances. All right, so with all those out of the way, we'll get started with the main spread. In the main situation position, we have the 2 of Swords, Libra energy, and then challenging that, we have the Tower. So to see this come up together could just be saying that you might be feeling a little bit indecisive around a certain situation, trying to make a decision purely out of logic and not trying to integrate anything around emotions with that decision. And it could just be saying that in the process of doing so, if you were to take too long, you might find that a tower moment might actually come along to help make the decision for you. And of course, if we could avoid that type of situation, we'd rather do so, right? Timeline-wise, this could even just be saying that at the very beginning of Libra season. So at the time of recording this, we haven't started that just yet. But yeah, it could just be saying that as we move through those first 10 degrees of Libra, you might already be feeling that energy. And then for some of you, that could mean that Aries full moon toward the end of September might actually be what brings that energy out there. All right, in the foundation position, we have the 6 of Cups. So Scorpio energy here. And for some of you, maybe this is part of what your decision-making process is centered around, right? Maybe some of you considering whether or not to go back to a previous situation or not. It could be something that you might have connected with back during as far back as your childhood, but something that used to bring you a sense of joy, fulfillment, happiness. Could just be something that's on your radar that you're considering revisiting this month. All right. In the past, we have the 9 of Wands, so Sagittarius energy here, which also came up in your dice. And it could just be saying that maybe past situations that you've gone through around your partnerships, whether it be romantic, business, or otherwise, could just have you feel a little bit guarded, right? Because you might have felt like you came out of those situations on a losing end, right? Where you might have felt like you were giving more than you were getting back, things along those lines there. And then that could cause you to be a bit more hesitant, or at least it was in the past. All right. Present position, we have the King of Pentacles. So this is actually Taurus energy here. And while we didn't have Taurus directly, we did see Uranus come up, which, like I said, has been in Taurus for some time. So it could just be saying that through these processes that you've gone through, might have actually benefited you financially, right? Maybe you got things together as far as from maybe feeling like, okay, I've gone through these situations that I felt like I came out on the losing end of them. Maybe they taught you to be a little bit more resilient and also a bit more discerning around entering into partnerships, things along those lines there. And speaking of Taurus, they're the natural ruler of the second house too, and we also saw second house energy come up in your dice. So yeah, could just be saying that an imbalance in one area could have led to some successes in another. All right, and in your future position, we have the 7 of Pentacles. So to me, this more Taurus energy here, by the way. To me, this says that, yeah, while that might have led to more success for you, it might not have necessarily led to more fulfillment for you, right? So it's one of those things where on the outside, yes, it could look like success by any measure, but at the same time, if you're not necessarily happy with what those things have brought you, then, you might start to reconsider, okay, well, is it really worthwhile or not, right? So again, like I was saying, for some of you, maybe this is something that you're considering going back to from your childhood. So just to give it an example of Pentacles, right? If you got into this high paying corporate job, right? And you're having a lot of success there. It's one of those things where, like, okay, yeah, this is awesome. I could pay the bills. I could use that money to go places I might have never seen before, things along those lines there, but maybe it's not as fulfilling as you like on an emotional level, right? So maybe there was something that you were more emotionally connected to when you were younger that you're thinking about possibly going back to now. All right, in the position of your influence in a situation, we have the Five of Cups. So this is actually a Scorpio energy here, points to some disappointments, right? So maybe feeling like looking back on previous situations, feeling like you failed in some way, right? Um, this makes me think of the Three of Cups energy, which is a Cancer energy, which for you guys is your second house of finances, right? So it could just be one of those things where it's like, okay, maybe you're looking back on past, again, like I said, maybe partnerships you've entered into could have been financial in nature, that you felt like, oh, this is going to be a big success, and maybe that wasn't necessarily the case, right? Or maybe you might have felt like you lost some connections along the way while you were on your path to career success, things along those lines there. Maybe you're regretting losing those levels of connections from your past. All right, in the environment position, we have the Six of Swords. So this is Aquarius energy here. And to me, well, for one, it can't be ignored how similar their clothing looks in the Seven of Pentacles, and then we see the person in the Six of Swords dressed very similarly. But beyond that, could just be saying that what this Two of Swords and Tower energy is really pointing to more than anything is to see the growth and the lessons through the situations you've gone through and leave them behind, right? So that could be what this is primarily saying, that maybe you've just been lingering on these things for so long and not necessarily realizing that you've already learned what you're meant to learn from those situations. So obviously easier said than done, right? No one would necessarily choose to be in that Five of Cups energy, but looks like that's what the energies are going to bring to the forefront for you guys to notice this month. Right. In the hopes or fears position, we have the Fool. So yeah, for some of you, maybe there is a bit of a fear, right, around leaving something behind and starting something new, right, or having a fresh start from something with something from your past, right? So things along those lines there, there could be a little bit of hesitation there as you net Two of Swords energy. All right, and in the outcome position, we have Justice. So Libra energy here, and on the one hand, this could just be pointing to a timeline. There will be a new moon eclipse in Libra, actually, in October, so there's that. So yeah, it could just be saying that you might actually see the scales rebalance this month, right? Even if they've been balanced for some time, but you, again, like I said, maybe if you hadn't necessarily realized that, looks like that'll come to the forefront for you guys this month anyway. And it could also just be saying if there's some fear around decision making on your part, I feel like seeing this in the outcome just says that you could have confidence that the decision you make will be the right one this month. All right, and bottom of the deck, we have the Queen of Wands. So this is actually Aries energy here. So yeah, for some of you, it could just be as simple as maybe if there's a friendship that you've had a falling out with, could be as simple as reconnecting with that friendship, right? As we see extending some flowers in that card here. Here we see the Queen of Wands holding a flower, right, and looking off in the distance. But of course, it doesn't want to focus right now, but there we go. So yeah, so she's holding that flower there. So it could just be one of those things where maybe if you have fallen out with someone, whether it be a friend, family member, you name it, from the past, maybe you're being called to reconnect with them. And for some of you, it could be a short-lived thing too, to be fair, because like I said, we are going to have that Aries full moon coming up real soon here before we officially get into October. So if there's a bit of a falling out there in that, it could just be saying that as we progress through October, that'd be a good time to get things back on track there. Moving on to your Four Agreements card, we have be impeccable with your word. And it says enjoy heaven on earth. There we go. All right, it says impeccability of the word can lead you to personal freedom, success, and abundance. You can attain the kingdom of heaven from this one agreement. Be impeccable with your word. So, definitely a positive message there for sure. And I mean, of course, as I'm reading that, I'm thinking about the fact that we just had the Mercury retrograde cycle wrap up. So now it's just a matter of the post shadow period clearing up. And then that should be done pretty early on in October. So if there were any miscommunications, things along those lines, October would be a great time to set those straight. Moving on to your Wisdom Oracle card, we have Serendipity. There's the artwork, and the number is 18. So we'll see what this has to say. But yeah, before I even read the messages there, that makes me think of timing again, right? Where, like I said, maybe these were things you had to go through in your past, and you might feel like, you're really down on yourself around going through those disappointments in the past, which actually I think your reading from last month might have had a similar title to that too. But yeah, it could just be one of those things where it's great to integrate those things and feel the feelings, but I feel like this is saying that you really can move on from them, confident that you've learned what you need to learn from them and will be better equipped to handle any similar situations down the line. All right. Essential meaning says opportunity allied with readiness, the awareness of synchronicity, luck and good fortune appearing as signs and symbols, a magical alignment of events. The Oracle's message: you've stepped into alignment with the greater good where your dream and the collective dream resonate in exquisite harmony. Now is the time for luck and preparation to meet and create miracles that you never could have planned all by yourself. Keep in mind that you are a channel for providence right now, as a higher energy uses you as a force on behalf of the whole world. Your fortune becomes everyone's fortune. Everything you bring into being now will leave a wondrous legacy for others in the future. Your service to the world is being supported at this time. Expect the unexpected, and smile, for Spirit loves you so very much. So yeah, definitely a positive message there for sure. Like I said, especially if there's some fear around the decision that you feel like you need to make. The relationship message says Spirit has a plan, and that plan is to place you in front of the right person at the right time. You have met or are about to meet someone vitally important to your journey, someone Spirit wants to bring into your life. Only divine forces can plan this meeting. It is out of your hands. Pay attention to the signs Spirit presents. So yeah, another message there talking about, things being out of your hands, but having that faith that these things will be for your higher good as well. Okay, the prosperity message says you are in the right place at the right time. Be grateful for the stars aligned in your favor and fortune is smiling on you. Victory and success are yours. The choices you have made in the past have prepared you for the opportunities now before you. This is your lucky moment. The timing is perfect. Yeah, once again, very positive, supportive message there as well, where, like I said, maybe you might have felt like some of these situations you've gone through in the past have set you back in some way, but it sounds like even those, what you would perceive as failures, are going to be things that will help you out as you move forward. So hope that resonated as well. Lastly, we have a mudra for you guys. This is your mudra here. It's the Ashvaratna mudra. Keyword for it is perspective. Alright, let's see if we can get this to focus. And see if we get everything to frame. Alright, perfect. So yeah, if you want to pause it or take a screenshot to read what it has to say, you can. But under benefits, it says balances earth, water, and fire elements, benefiting digestion, circulation, and overall vitality. Cuts through ego clinging and narrow-mindedness, gives new perspective on your choices and life's path. So if that sounds like a movie thing be beneficial for you guys, I'll put the link in the description of the video as always. We'll wrap up there, and I'll see you guys next month. Alright, bye.